Great to have you here. Thanks for your company. The Ghana National Education Campaign Coalition is pushing for the scrapping of the double-track system. The coalition is worried the system will churn out poor quality students compared to private schools. But you recall government at the introductory stage of the program projected it must put in place some infrastructure to enable it accommodate the increasing number of intake as a result of the free senior high school program. So now let me take you through the projections as presented by the ministry last year. All right, so in justifying the need for the double track system, the ministry put out these statistics, and you can see the increase in the BEC registration from 2014 to 2018, and between 2017 and 2018, when the free senior high school program was being introduced, there was a surge of about 11.5% in the number of students who had registered for the BEC. And so the projection was as such, and they gave us the number of people enrolled and those who were placed but not enrolled, and the statistics are there. Let's just stick to 2016. Total number registered were about 461,000, number placed 420,135, number enrolled 308,799, and those who were not enrolled. And for the government, this was a key decision in creating that free senior high school program. 111,336 students were placed but not enrolled. And when you come to 2017, there were 361,771 out of the 424,224 placed who were enrolled. Those who were not enrolled were about 62,000. And in 2018, these were the projections by government that the number of students placed were going to be 497,610. Out of that number, 472,730 were going to be placed, but those who will not be enrolled will be 24,880. So this was what government projected with regards to enrollment trends for 2018. They projected that 472,000 number I mentioned earlier, and that would have been, that was a 30.7% increase in the number of students who were enrolled into senior high school in 2017. Then there was the gap analysis. So the available seats for SHS3 leavers, 277,537. Now, additional seats created were 13,200. The total seats available were 290,735. The seats needed 472,730, and this left us with a gap of 181,993. So the big question was, how was government going to deal with this gap? Well, so government said, well, we will need additional money because of the increase in the enrollment numbers. And so they said they needed 622 6-unit classroom blocks, and that was going to cost a total of 404,300,000. They needed 181,993 student furniture, needed 3,730 furniture for teachers, 415 dormitories, 51,868 beds, and the number of teachers, and this was a big one, I remember, during the discussions on the free senior high school policy rollout. And so 8,872 teachers were needed. Now, in all this would have cost government 1,338,083,639 cedis. And so government itself decided and said, even if they have all the funds, they cannot build quick enough for the 2018 entrance, and so justifying the need for the free senior high school program. In July 2018, the National Education Campaign Coalition said poor consultation led to the implementation of the double-track system. And just this week, the coalition wants the system phased out. Now, I have been joined in studio by Chairman of the GNECC, Kofi Asare, for more on their call. Thank you so much for joining us this morning,
Thank you.
So aside from quality issues you're raising, what other things form the basis of your call that the double-track system should be phased out by the next academic year, which I believe is in September?
Well, the coalition is currently observing the Global Action Week on Education, and we are focusing on bringing government attention to existing inequalities and then quality deficits in our educational system. Now, the figures you banded around are correct. The free senior high school policy has made tremendous gains when it comes to access. About 100,000 more children are now in senior high school. That is not disputed. The challenge you have in this country is that over the past 20 years, we have touted educational achievement on the basis of outputs, and that has been our challenge. We have an educational system that takes about 25% of our national budget and 6% of our GDP. Yet we always tout achievement on the basis of access. We have moved on because access is not what we need.
Okay.
The essence of spending about 3 trillion on free senior high school is to achieve quality. Now, this is our case. Our case is that if you go to the schools currently, because of the double-track system, government reduced the number of days they spend in school by about 20 days, okay? And then increase the instructional time. Now, there are schools in this country that start classes at 6 o'clock and end at around 4 p.m. There are schools in this country that start classes at 7:40 a.m. and close at 5:15, a school like Accra High. You understand? Now, what at all are the students learning there? How can you put a 16, 17-year-old in a classroom for 8 to 9 hours? It doesn't make any sense in the sense that beyond 2 o'clock, there is no learning. They are tired. The teachers are complaining that after 2 o'clock, there is no learning because the child is fatigued.
And Mr. Asare, I'll come back to you, but I just want to acknowledge the Deputy Education Minister in charge of secondary, Ms. Dr. Edutum. He's listening in, and we'll be getting his response and government's plan, because we understand that this double-track system is actually temporary, right? Government has said it's not a permanent measure to deal with the existing problem. But you were telling us about other reasons why you're calling for the scrapping of the double-track. You spoke about fatigue.
Yeah, we are saying that it is not right to keep a student in class from 7:40 to up to 5:15. Currently, there's an intervention going on by government. The intervention is supposed to supplement, okay, what the regular school is providing for. It is good. However, the thing is too compressed because our visit to schools realize, unearth the fact that most students come at 7:30 and they close at 5 o'clock. You go for 20 minutes break, first break, and then 20 minutes lunch break. How can you do this? A class which used to be a period which used to be 40 minutes is now 1 hour. So 2 periods is 2 hours. Now, the last 30 minutes of the class is normally the period where the children are tired. Even university students don't do 8 hours and 7 hours of instruction in a day. So what we are saying is that the nature of the compression of the timetable, and then also taking into account the new intervention that has been brought, is making it difficult for the children to actually do any quality learning. The teachers are saying that sometimes they feel it's quite a pitiful situation, knowing very well that that long marathon session is not meant for children like that and does not guarantee or facilitate quality learning.
Mr. Asare, I'll come back to you because there are a lot more questions we want answers to from GNECC side. But let me come to government side. Thank you so much for joining the program, Dr. Edutum.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to speak to the good people of Ghana.
All right. Dr. Edutum, GNECC says they have observed the education system with with particular attention on the free senior high school program and the double track system. They say they have witnessed drop in quality, fatigue, students get tired, instructional hours too long. The teachers are also complaining. What they're asking you to do is to scrap or phase out the double track system next academic year. And when you mean next academic year, you mean 2019 in September?
We're talking about next year.
So 2020, 2021.
Exactly.
Are you ready to do that, Mr. Educhum? Is government ready to phase out the double track system?
Thank you for this opportunity. Invariably, people seem to think that they know everything about education. And unfortunately for an organization like GNECC, not trying to sit down and learn more about the system and then going to public to throw dust in the eyes of the good people of Ghana is what concerns me. Nobody ever said double track was permanent. So for them to say that we are calling on you to scrap the system, what are they talking about?
They're asking you to do it within a specific time.
They don't understand. We've already gone public with our timetable. The minister have said it, that Form 1 students, when they go to Form 2, they will not be double tracked. We've said that. And next year, that is what we are working on. Thank God we're able to come up with a very innovative program called Get Fund Securitization. We have the money, we are building classrooms, and the students will not be double tracked when they go to Form 2. Form 1 has a different timetable in terms of how we eliminate double track. So when GNECC talks about scrap it and take the kids to where? So we have an agenda. The president made a pledge to the nation and said 5 to 7 years double track will be history. He's on track with the resources to enable us get to that destination. So I simply don't understand what GNECC is talking about.
Okay, Ms. Asari would like to respond.
Yeah. What we are saying is this. We have created a system. No, let me finish.
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So when he talks about double track, without knowing the details of it, look at what happened in schools like Accra Girls. The class size was about 60 students in 2017. Double track comes and they have about 40 to 45 students in the classroom. Teachers now have an opportunity to reach out to every student and be able to grade their assignments. They have more instruction. A teacher wrote to me from a school where he says, for the first time, I'm going to finish my syllabus by the end of the 3 years because now I have more time to work with the students. Teachers in this country are very creative and innovative. They know the best practices in instruction. They know how you scaffold in the classroom and differentiate. They know how you break up your classes into groups so that the student can work among themselves. So even if we have an hour, Ghanaian teachers are skilled and they will use it to the benefit of their students. So I really detest that assertion that the last 30 minutes they are not doing anything. He wants me to tell me that the teachers in Ghana don't know the best practices that allows them to use 1 hour fully and very well and not just talk to the students. I create project learning-based learning environment where students learn among themselves. They reflect on their learning for the day. Teachers in this country are resourceful and they know how to use 1 hour very well. So I do not agree with him that children are not learning. Teachers are teaching, children are learning. So I don't really like what he's saying, that teachers are not teaching the last 30 minutes. It's not true. Our teachers are working. And we trust that they will make good use of the time so that we'll get better outcomes in this country.
All right, Mr. Dushim, if I got him correctly, the issue with the 30 minutes had to do with the students. The students and the fact that they need to stay for long hours and have long instructional hours.
Let me tell you, if you know something about teaching and learning, you will never make that assertion.
Okay, let me start. Sorry, Mr. Duchum.
You begin it in such a way that you differentiate the teaching and learning process.
I think we'll have to let Mr. Asari come in. He wants to respond to the issues you've raised. So he thinks that one GNECC, you haven't done your job, or basically.
Well, I won't respond to what Dr. Edichum is saying, because he knows that what he's saying is not true. He knows that we don't pretend to know everything in education, and he knows definitely that we are not aware that there's a plan to phase it out. He also knows very well.
Did you find out?
I'm saying that he knows that.
Did you find out?
Knows
you
that
serve on the ministerial advisory
Doc, when you were talking, I didn't
interject.
Hold on.
When you were speaking, I listened to you, and
Doc,
so please
Doc,
kindly listen to me.
Permit him to speak.
Now, Doc said that the president has a vision to phase it out between 5 and 7. You heard him say between 5 and 7 years, right?
Yes.
When the double track started, is it not last year?
Yes.
So if you are saying that it should be phased out next year, is it not inconsistent with the president's vision? And so what is Doc talking about?
He's saying there's a plan to phase it out gradually. So the Form 1 students going into Form 2.
Years, right? I said between 5 to 7 years, right? And we are saying within 2 years. Is it not different? So we are talking about different things. We are demanding something different from what he's saying is the president's vision. But that is what he's not alluding to. But we are only reminding government that the indicators on the ground suggest that children are learning from 740 to up to 515 in many schools. Now, the students in school now, they went to school sometime in December. Green track. They came for Xmas break, went back in January. They've been in school from January till now. They've been in school from January till now. Some of the schools, they don't go for the 1 week, the 1 week vacation.
Easter?
No, not the Easter.
There was
a vacation, that's the end of semester. You know, now it's now 2 semesters. There was a vacation. Most of them didn't go. It was just a 1 week. Most schools didn't even go. Okay? And so they've been in school for that long. From December, they went for Xmas break, came in January, and they've been in school up till now.
Okay.
And they're going to be in school till mid-May. Count the number of months. Count the number of months they're in school. Now, the teachers are even saying that, look, the children are tired. And everybody knows that. From December till now, they are still in school.
Let me bring Mr. Duchumi.
And so there's no other way to explain this. The fact is that the children are being pumped with materials that they are tired.
No.
Okay.
The
So Mr.
students are still in school as we speak.
Okay.
And to make it worse, teachers who are teaching another track green have been teaching since the beginning of the last semester in December.
Okay.
January, February, March, for those who did not go for the 1 week break, April, May, they are still in school teaching. Now, the break was 1 week between first semester and second semester. What happened? Because it was just 1 week, teachers could not have enough time to mark. And so the next semester started after 1 week. So they were teaching for long hours, between 7:40 and up to 4 and 5:15, and at the same time marking. Let's be honest. We are engaging teachers in the schools. We are engaging students in the schools. Teachers cannot say these things to the ministry, because we know what will happen when most teachers express their candid opinion about the poor quality of teaching and learning under the system. And so Dr. Edichum will always defend what government is doing, because he is the person mandated by government to do it. But then I am not listening to what he's saying. I am telling him that we have been on the ground. And we want to draw attention of government to the fact that the quality of teaching and learning under the double track has taken a nosedive. And so they will not tell the politicians the right thing, because they fear to be victimized. And so we are telling them, you either take this advice in good faith, or you keep tickling yourself and pretend that there's anything quality going on under the free senior school. Next year, they'll write the WASI, and then we will see. They will see how the input is reflecting the output.
Dr. Edichum.
Madam, the point of the matter is that I'm not tickling myself. I know what I'm talking about. You are talking to somebody who claims to know something. He knows nothing. It's just unfortunate that he will represent GNECC and misrepresent education in this country.
Dr.
It's just unfortunate.
So how many?
It's just unfortunate because now he's claiming the kids are staying in school for so long. These are the same people who said the children are not going to be staying in school for long, and they are complaining. Now he's talking about. Now, in the first place, the teachers who are teaching belongs to different tracks, and therefore they are not staying in the school teaching all the other students for them to be there for so long that they don't have vacation. The gold track teachers go on vacation when the gold track students are on vacation. Green track are on vacation when green track students are on vacation. So it's not the same group of teachers who are staying there to teach all the group of students.
Mr. Dutum, let's make progress. Let's make progress. Gentlemen.
No, madam, let me finish this. Because you see, the interesting thing is this. Mr. Asare,
we can hear ourselves when we are all talking.
A member of the Ministerial Advisory Board of Ministry of Education. And he will not come to be educated on these issues and go in public and
we want the public to know what is going on in the schools, and so
let's make
you cannot constrict.
Mr. Asare, please. Doc, in government's bid to justify the need for the double track system, you stated that there were some classroom blocks, dormitories, furniture that we will need. And this was contained in a council presentation, and I have a copy here. We said we will need 6-unit classroom blocks, and we'll need 622 of those. We will need student furniture. We need about 181,993. You came to say that even if we had all the funds, we could not build or provide all these infrastructure quick enough for the 2018 entrance. Any progress with getting these infrastructure? How many out of those classroom blocks have we built now? How many of the dormitories have we built? How much of the furniture has been provided?
Thank you so much. If you look at what I alluded to earlier, that we have a president who is determined to leapfrog education in this country, because based on all the data that we had, it was going to take about 10 to 20 years for us to build all the facilities so that all these children can go to school. The president had a different action plan, and that is what brought about double track. He also promised that within 5 to 7 years we will eliminate it. And in alignment with that, we were able to do the Get Fund securitization. $500 million has been released to act for construction across the length and breadth of this country. We have 429 units of dormitory and classroom blocks currently awarded on contract. We have a number of schools that are now under construction. In some places, it's at advanced stage. Fortunately, we also got the GNPC Foundation, thanks to the efforts of Dr. K.K. Sapong. 48 classroom blocks are nearing completion. And then we recently awarded the 429 classrooms and dorms to be built across all the schools that are in the double track program. As I speak with you, as I said, when we move the students from Form 1 to Form 2, they are going to be on a single track. As a result, if you look at a school that has, let's say, 1,200 students in Form 1, and they are moving into second year and they are going to be together, it means if their second year enrollment was 800, you have 400 extra spaces that you need to create, which means you need 8 classrooms in order for that school to accommodate all the students on a single track in the second year. And madam, that is what we are focusing on now, that all those classrooms be ready come September 2019. The Form 2 students will be together in a single cohort, and their double track era will be over for them. But the Form 1s will be double track at the same enrollment level so that we can accommodate all the students that are on track to come into senior high school next year, which we project to be 469,000.
All right.
We have set up this agenda. We have a plan, and if he cares to know, we have a ministerial advisory board meeting on Tuesday. When he comes, he should ask some questions and don't go into the media and throw dust in the eyes of the public.
Mr. Dutum, so these students are going to, I'm talking about the Form 1 students currently on the double track system. They're going to Form 2 in September. That's some 5 months away from today. And I'm just asking how many of these classroom blocks that will be needed in the schools that are running the double track system have been provided?
And the dormitories.
And the dormitories as well.
Yes, and I've already responded to that. That when we did the calculations, we saw that, you remember, we projected 600. When we did the calculation, we realized that if we get 429 done, dormitory and classrooms, we're able to do the accommodation of the double track in terms of single track for Form 2 students. As I speak with you, about 100 classroom blocks are done. We have 48 from GNPC, and the other numbers are from what we have been able to accomplish. You go to Jacobu Senior High School, for example, you're going to see a building. We have so many of them done. The rest we know can be done before September, so that we will be able to accommodate all the first-year students in a single track when they get to the second year.
All right, now let's focus on some of the other issues raised by Mr. Asare. I'll come to you shortly. And it has to do with the teachers. Now, he says their study on what's happening on the ground indicates that some of the teachers are still not on either tracks. They are running all the tracks.
No.
Okay.
What I said was that the gold track teachers,
it's not true.
They have been teaching.
Okay.
Gold track students went to school in December.
Okay.
And they are, sorry, green track. And they are still in school.
Okay.
So their teachers have been teaching from December till now.
Okay.
True or false?
You know they had 2 months of vacation.
True or false?
He says they had 2 months of vacation.
2 months vacation.
Yes.
They got their 2 months of vacation. You see, green track is the first group that started. They did only 2 months in school. They took a 2 months of vacation. Then they went back to school. They had 2 months of vacation. And now they are going to do 4 months and then get another 2 months of vacation. Mr. Asare.
Honorable, please, within which month did the green track have their vacation? The teachers on the green track?
When the gold track came.
No, I'm talking about from December till
when
now.
the gold track,
from September.
Yes. You remember when they began from September, they were there for 2 months.
Yes, but
then they took 2 months break with their teachers.
Yes. Doc, so the green track students have been in school
the break, that
since
is
December.
when gold track came immediately after their first 2 months ended. And they were there 4 months non-stop and took their break.
Okay, so you disagree with him.
And then green track came together with them for 2 months and then they continued.
Okay, so you disagree with him that the instructional hours
and that is why they are still there. In the moment they finish, gold track comes back.
Okay, Doc. So the concerns of the instructional hours, do you disagree that students going to school from 7 and ending lessons at 5, there's just too much for them and there's a lot of fatigue?
I'm not sure which school is that. Because you see, schools were given flexibility. Others begin at 8. If they begin at 8, they finish at 4. So I can't imagine them beginning at 7:15 and finishing at 5. I really have to know the school that is doing that, because no school is expected to do what Mr. Asare is talking about.
Okay, Honorable,
so
another
if
intervention.
the schools set up their own schedule,
I'll give you the schools.
we can find
I'll give you some of the schools. Another intervention.
Yeah.
Teachers are
no, I don't mind. It will be helpful to me to know.
Of course, yeah. I mean, under the intervention, schools are supposed to do extra classes for which government is paying the teachers. And so if a school is doing regular school from 7:40 to 3 o'clock, obviously the extra classes take them to 5. For example, a school like, let's say, Accra High. Let me just go to the closest, Accra High. You can go there after this program and verify for yourself. Go to Accra High. They start class at 7:40 and they close at 5:15. Accra is just here. After this program, you guys can go there and find out for yourself. I won't go to any further school so that
one of the things that has always happened.
You asked me. You asked me to give you examples. I was about to give you about 10 examples.
He wants to give you more examples.
I want to give you 10 examples.
Okay.
Now you can give me the list when you come to the ministerial advisory board meeting.
You see, there's one thing I need to correct.
You are a member of the ministerial advisory board.
Anytime we have a discussion on education
I'll go
issues,
and check.
Okay.
There's this tendency of the executive trying to play down or trying to water down on issues that we raise that are real, that they duly acknowledge are real.
Excuse me, I'll be the last
for the
person
deputy minister to first of all to say that I am not a worthy representative of GNECC alone. It's something that I detest strongly and I object in no uncertain terms. And that I say that a deputy minister should not have the effrontery of questioning the integrity and the competence of a rep of civil society. We have been engaging government for 20 years. We have dealt with over 8, 9, or 10 ministers. We have been working with government before Honorable Barredo was a minister. And so we will not, we take a strong exception to any such opinion that I am not a worthy ambassador of GNECC, and then you are casting simply because I'm not speaking the language you want to hear.
All right,
Honorable, so I want to say that even though I serve on the Ministerial Advisory Board, you will not determine to me where I engage or how I engage. I am engaging Ghanaians. I am engaging parents parents, the quality of education being served on a double track is bad. And so let's demand quality from our leaders. If this is what is making you uncomfortable, then I'll always be an unworthy ambassador of GNECC.
Mr. Asare, let's hear him.
But that is the fact.
Let's hear him respond. Mr. Dushum, you have a response to his concerns, and indeed, when you started, you did cast some doubt.
This is what some people do when they know not the facts and they are pushed into a corner. They will defend by insulting. Me, I don't do that, and everybody in this country knows I don't do that. Education, I'll always put effective policy first ahead of politics. I'm not the type who will come and do propaganda. No, I don't do propaganda with education. I know the facts. If you bring facts, fact against fact, Mr. Asare, I think that is very good. So don't go around talking about effrontery and all those kind of things. I don't do that kind of thing.
Okay.
Let's fact face fact.
All right.
And when it's right, let the people be the judge and not you. Let the people judge and not you.
Doc, so as it is now, with what we are seeing with the double track system, I want to believe that as a ministry, you have gone around, you've done your own assessment. Are you comfortable with the way the system is running now, or are there any things that you would want to work on or improve moving forward?
Madam, every policy that you enact and you implement has goals. And you measure the effectiveness of your implementation against the goals. The first thing that the president said was the fact that double track was going to reduce class sizes. Anybody who knows something about policy evaluation, when they go to the field, will first of all look at, you said you were going to reduce class sizes. Were you able to do so? Then you check it. We've done just that. Were you able to decongest? We've done that. Then you check it. Were you able to increase the instructional time that you said you were going to? Then you check it, and we've done that. You said you were going to do intervention so that students who are struggling will have the opportunity to do better in their classrooms. We've done that. We have paid schools the monies that we promised them. We've done just that. And the policy said within 5 to 7 years, you are going to eliminate double track. If you are an objective policy analyst, when you are looking at the policy, you're also saying to yourself, are you on track towards eliminating double track for 5 to 7 years? Any objective analyst will know that we've done that. So, madam, all that I will say is this. We promise that we'll hire more teachers, about 10,000. We have done that so that teachers don't have to teach year-round, so that they can go on vacation with their children when they are going on vacation. So if any objective analyst is looking at double track, they're going to analyze double track and evaluate us based on the set objectives. And based on the set objectives, double track is on track, madam.
So, Doc, are you saying that if anybody observes something within the implementation of your double track system that they think can be improved, because we cannot mark them against your goals or objectives, then we can't say them? I'm just trying to understand you based on the kind of feedback that is coming from this particular coalition.
I mean, this particular coalition, if they have any scientific research, I will use it anytime.
Okay, but has the ministry itself done some assessment?
If it says, of course.
Do you have anything you want to improve?
Teams on the ground.
Do you have anything?
Every region have a senior high school coordinator with the resources and they do constant monitoring. All that we are saying is this. If any agency does evaluation and they have some quick data, because you see, outcome data or anything, we will be happy, of course, to use it to improve performance. At the end of the day, when double track succeeds, we will take credit for it. The president will take credit for it. So if anybody gives us something that we can use to improve the system, why would we say no? But it is when we are having fast confused, saying that teachers are teaching the whole year when it's not true. That is why I become concerned.
Okay, we've corrected that. We've corrected that.
We are talking about the children.
They're not teaching the whole year. He spoke about teaching from December till now, and the teachers are complaining that there's some fatigue. They are quite tired.
Which cohort? Which cohort is he talking about? Gold track teachers are on vacation now. So which teachers is he talking about?
Honorable, please. When did Track Green go to school?
You know, I think it's important,
Honorable,
and
please,
that is why I like
when did Track Green go to
people
school?
seek information. I can send you a copy. I can send you a copy of the schedule. Take a look at it, and if you think what I'm saying is not true, you can get back on Joy and tell the whole world that what I'm saying is not true.
Honorable, please. When did Track Green go to school?
Take a second look at the schedule.
You make your statements. I do the question.
Take a second look. If it's not accurate, I'll be the first person to say you were right. But take a second look at the schedule, Mr. Asare.
He claims the teachers have been in school from December to now. Is that true?
No. Okay. That cannot be accurate. So that's why I'm saying that he should take a look at the schedule.
All right. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Dutrum, thank you so much for your time.
But let me quickly, Honorable, you see, you have your officers on the ground, people you pay. They will always give you friendly reports, and you always be happy to read them. You should be thankful to us whenever we do an evaluation of this program, because we all want the program to succeed. However, the posture of you has always been that of rubbishing anything we do. Last year, we did the first evaluation of the free senior school policy. And all the issues that we raised, everything has occurred. There was an issue we raised in relation to...
Don't go
everything we raised in the issue, I don't want to say we have been vindicated, because we didn't do the research for vindication purposes. But the way, the manner in which your poster is always negative and rubbish, you later found out that everything we discovered in the report was that. So please, when we invest resources into doing an evaluation of your own policy for you, just note that your employees will always tell you
all right, Mr.
what you want to hear. And so you should be thankful to us, rather than being overly defensive and then immediately personalizing issues. The fact is that you know very well, I know you know very well, that the quality of teaching under the double track has hugely been, you will never know anything to, has been easily been compromised. You know it very well. And so, please, let's reduce the instructional time. You can't keep children learning from 7:40 to 5:15. It is not correct. It is not correct. And you are speaking grammar. The fact is there.
I'm sure this will continue at your...
You can go to the schools.
Exactly. When it started, we have been to schools and we're still following up on the
find out whether teachers have been teaching from December till now.
All right.
And go there and find out whether they are not teaching from 7:40 to 5 o'clock at Accra High. That's just here. You can go there and then come and tell him that we didn't sit down in our room and then cook this food to be served. And now we are only helping you to identify deficits in the policy. Now, when we share these findings public, don't see us to be enemies. We want Ghanaians to appreciate the gains we've made. 100,000 more enrollment is great. But we don't go to school because of enrollment. You go to school because of quality learning outcomes. So that more than 30% of our students can now transit from senior high school to university.
All right. Well,
this quality that we are serving,
we can't hear anybody at this point. We will have to end it here. But thank you so much, Dr. Dutrum, for your time. Dr. Dutrum is Deputy Minister of Education in charge of pre-tertiary. What a session it has been. And Kofi Asare is Executive Director of the Ghana Education Campaign Coalition. They want government to phase out the double track system next academic year. Government says, as the President stated, it will be done between 5 to 7 years. We'll wait to see, but we've got our eyes on the ground. And we also know that for a lot of you parents watching, if you have any concerns or contributions, you can do well to let us know. We are very available on social media, JoyNews on TV, on Facebook and on Twitter, and we will address your concerns. Thank you very much for joining us.